Brazos Valley. My name is Reverend Kiya Heartwood. My pronouns are she, they, and howdy, howdy. Keep your coats on. We are very fortunate that the building is so warm and that it was so well made. And we're real happy to see you. We're going to sing this morning hymn number 101. Your hymnals are right under your seats. And it's a very classic song. They sang it as the Titanic was going down, which hopefully we won't resemble that. Abide with me, hymn number 101. Well, if y'all have a seat anywhere, your hymnal's underneath the seat. We're singing number 101. We're so lucky that Joe Gable's going to play music for us today.
Abide with me, fast falls the eventide. The darkness deepens, still with me abide. When other helpers fail and comforts flee, help of the helpless, oh, abide with me. Swift to its close, as thou life's little day, earth's joy grow dim, its glories pass away, change and decay in all around I see. O thou who changes not, abide with me. I fear no foe, with thee at hand to bless. Ills have no plague, and tears no bitterness. Where is destiny? Where brave thy victory? I triumph still if thou abide with me.
Welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Church in the Brazos Valley, UUCBV, or Brazos UU for short, and welcome to the second Sunday at our new building. My name is Gay Webb, and I am your worship. I will be serving as your worship assistant today. We are a welcoming congregation, which means we celebrate and welcome all people of diverse sexual orientations and gender identities. We also strive to welcome people across diversities of race, age, ability, immigration status, and belief. We are a congregation working for reproductive justice. So wherever you are on life's journey, wherever you come from, you are welcome here.
I believe Reed is going to help us light the chalice, but my call to worship today comes from Sharon Salzberg, who's a Buddhist teacher, well-respected American Buddhist teacher, and she says, that's actually, nope, I've changed my mind. Wapolo Rula says, what the Buddha taught. The question has often been asked, is Buddhism a religion or a philosophy? It does not matter what you call it. Buddhism remains what it is, whatever label you put on it. The label is immaterial. Even the label Buddhism, which we give to the teachings of the Buddha, is of little importance. The name one gives is inessential. In the same way, truth needs no label. It is neither Buddhist, or Christian, or Hindu, nor Muslim, nor Unitarian Universalist. It is not the monopoly of anybody. Sectarian labels are a hindrance to the independent understanding of of truth and then produce harmful prejudice in the human mind. Wapola Ruler. Now we're going to let the chalice. Got the Read. Will you help me out?
Please say our chalice words mighty words with me. We light the chalice, the symbol of our unitary universal state, as a beacon of hope for all who seek justice, dignity, and compassion, and in celebration of the life and meaning we share together. And now the words of our affirmation. Love is the spirit of this church, and service is its gift. This is our great covenant, to dwell together in peace, to seek the truth in love, and to help one another.
Still working on our transitions. My name is Allison, and I'm your Director of Religious Education, and each week I tell a story that can be insightful if you are 0 years old, or all the way up till maybe 90 years old. Gary Hart had the 90th birthday yesterday. And today our service is about Buddhism, and our story comes from Kindness, which is a treasury of Buddhist wisdom for children and parents, and it's collected by Sarah Connor. And this story is called Bird's Nest. Okay. Long ago in China, there lived a monk who perched in a certain tree every day to meditate. No matter if the tree swayed in fierce winds and rain, the monk settled himself comfortably high up in the tree. Because of this, he was nicknamed Bird's Nest by the village folk nearby. Many of these villagers passed beneath the monk while hunting or while gathering wood in the forest. And after a time, they grew used to the monk. Some began to stop and talk of their concerns with Bird's Nest. They liked the things he had to say, and soon Bird's Nest became known for his kind and thoughtful words. After more years, the monk's wise reputation spread throughout the province. Visitors from distant cities hiked to the remote forest for his advice. Even the governor of the province decided that he too would visit Bird's Nest to discuss matters of importance. So, one spring morning, probably nicer than this morning, the governor set off to find him. After traveling several days, he at last located Bird's Nest's tree in a dense forest. The monk sat calmly high in the topmost branches, enjoying the warmth and the bird songs of spring. Looking up, the governor shouted, "Bird's Nest! I am the governor of this province, and I have come a great distance to speak with you. I have a most important question." The governor waited for a reply, but heard only the pleasant sounds of leaves stirring in the breeze. The governor continued, "This is my question. Tell me, Bird's Nest, what is it that all the wise ones have taught? Can you tell me the most important thing the Buddha ever said?" There was a long pause, just the soft rustle of leaves again. Finally, the monk called down from the tree, "This is your answer, governor. Don't do bad things. Always do good things. That's what all the Buddhas have taught." But the governor thought this answer was far too simple to have walked 2 days for. Irritated and annoyed, the governor stammered, "Don't do bad things, always do good things? I knew that when I was 3 years old." Looking down at the governor, Bird's Nest replied with a wry smile, "Yes, the 3-year-old knows it. but the 80-year-old still finds it very difficult to do. So this week, let's see what kind and innocent things we can cultivate in our lives. And with all of the younger you join me at that, and you can go to religious education. And will the rest of you please sing us out with this little letter?
This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine.
And now, if you turn in your hymnal to number 184, we're going to sing a translation of an actual statement from the Buddha, be ye lamps unto yourselves.
Be lamps unto yourselves. Be your own confidence. Hold to the truth within yourselves. As to the only God. Be lamps unto yourselves. Be your own confidence. Hold to the truth within yourselves. As to the only God. Be lamps unto yourselves. Be your own confidence. Hold to the truth within yourselves. As to the only God.
As Unitarian Universalists, we believe that there's a spark of the divine in every being, including all of y'all. And this is your great opportunity to say howdy to the other divine sparks in the room, especially the ones that you don't know the names of. Everybody has their name tag on. Y'all make an effort to get to know our neighbors and make a stronger community. And I will let you know when it's over with this very groovy bell. Okay.
So when they were taking the power, those came on. So that's what the red dot is, just like all the other ones. And I was wondering the same thing. So yeah, those come on as a signal. When the power goes out, like if the power goes out on the screen, one's lights, one's with the red dot. Because each of those is
You're telling me they should not be on.
oh, no, it's fine. I have the intention to so.
You can make them brighter?
Oh, I see. But let there be lights.
So the red dots are where you can sit on the top. So when power goes out, those
Okay.
yeah.
The Dalai Lama says, my religion is kindness. And that's about it. So I'm done. The Eightfold Path, the Buddha preached for about 45 years. How many people understand that the Buddha is not like Jesus? Many people think Jesus is the divine being that came from God's special status. Anybody sort of feel like that about Buddha? Incorrect. Thank you for playing. The Buddha is just a person who's considered enlightened. So he's able to stay in the present. Where most people, I don't know about you, I have this problem. I'm either in the past or I'm in the future worried about something down the road. Buddhism is 2,500 years old and has many different strains. There are strains where it has more, it looks like they're worshiping someone divine or they have things that they're bowing to. But for the most part, especially in the West, Buddhism is a way to alleviate suffering and how to think about your life. And so when we approach it in a Unitarian Universalist way, we're not saying it's theist or not theist, you know what I mean? God or no God. It's just something that you can use if it works for you, and if it doesn't, take a nice nap right now. So the main thing that the Buddha said over and over again for the 45 years was that there's an eightfold path. And that basically what you're trying to do is become more compassionate and have more wisdom. How many people know people who are very compassionate but have no wisdom? They call it idiot compassion. You know, like you leave your door locked all the time because you want people to feel like they can have whatever they want. Or you do things that might not be safe. That is not the Buddhist way. The Buddhist way is to both cultivate your intelligence and your compassion. And to try to learn to govern your own mind so that you can stay in the present. Or if you're a meditating person, I can't hold still long enough to meditate in a sitting position, but I like walking meditation. So there are many ways to do it. You don't have to just do it the way the very skinny people who do yoga kind of do. No offense to anyone who does yoga, but y'all, it's not gonna happen. Not here. So, how many people feel like this is a way that you're kind of interested in and you might be able to learn something from? Anybody feel like Buddhism might be excellent? Excellent. Well, many of you agree with you. In fact, we want to avoid the earlier UUs who, when they started the Parliament of World Religions. When they started the Parliament of World Religions, they had all these people come from all these different faiths. And the Unitarians were kind of like the gatekeepers. They were like, hey, you people in Japan that are being talked to by the missionaries and are forgetting about Buddhism, let us come and teach you Buddhism again. We don't want to do that. And I don't want to encourage that kind of old-fashioned Unitarian thing where, well, here's a bunch of faiths that you can just rip off without giving due credit to. Do you know what I mean? Cultural appropriation. We don't want to do that. But there is a lot in Buddhism that is useful. And so I'm going to try to break it down as simple as I can. But what I just told you from the Dalai Lama really is the main thing. If you forget everything else I said, kindness. How good are you at kindness? How good are you at kindness when you're late? How good are you at kindness when your kids are driving you crazy? Or your spouse, or the television, or the people who vote differently? I don't know, I could get better. I could get better. So the Eightfold Path is sort of like a guideline, and it's not a path in that it's a straight line and you work on one and then you work on the next one. You kind of work on all of them at the same time. It's more like a web path than a path. It's not a straight line. So if you're working on one or you feel like you need this particular one right now and you're kind of ignoring the other one, you get to it, it's okay. The other thing is you kind of want to leave that puritanical belief that there's something wrong with you and you need to fix yourself. Okay? You're just fine like you are. You can get better. You're going to get better anyway if you do nothing. Life will help you, right? But I want you to just sort of take it easy. I'm going to go through these things and hopefully you'll get something useful out of it. So the way the Buddha taught was the first three of the Eightfold Path are the most important. And if you could forget everything else but kindness, these are your three ethical conduct. So he calls it ethical conduct, but what does that mean? The things you knew when you were 3, this is how you want to treat people. So they are right speech, right action, and right livelihood. If you forget everything else, these are 3 good things. If it took you your whole life and maybe some other lives, perhaps, then you would just work on these 3 things. So what do they mean? Right speech. Say what you mean. Try not to lie. Try not to just, the stories you tell yourself in your head, try not to give that a lot of weight out your mouth until you're sure. If you don't know, be silent. Now, I can't do it, but I'm telling y'all about it. So, right speech is really important, and you want to focus on those things. Now, right action is doing the right thing with a balance from your head and heart, that you've considered your actions, and that you're aware that everything you do affects someone else or the planet. We're in a web of existence. We are all downstream, as they say, in the old-fashioned environmental movement. So everything you're doing, consider your actions in regard to everyone else and to yourself. Because the whole concept of karma that is in Hinduism as well as Buddhism and kind of pop culture in general, the concept is that what you do affects what's going to happen to you. So living correctly in the moment makes your future better. End of story. Focusing on the present helps you not be focused on the past. If you're back in the past beating yourself up for something that you did that you can't change, then your focus is not on the present. And so that affects your future. Does that make sense? Kind of? Duh, Kiya, this is so easy. Is it? I don't think so. I think it's a little hard. So the last thing is right livelihood. So you don't, in Buddhism, they talk a lot about not doing things like, you don't want to work for the nuclear military complex. Because you're basically earning your living by trying to kill thousands and thousands of people. So if you have that kind of job, you might want to find something that's more life-giving and more supportive of everyone and has compassion at the bottom of it. Do you have a job that you feel like you're in the right job? Do you have a job that you feel inspired by, that you do your best when you go to work? Are you giving it your best? Y'all, I'm being the best minister I can be. I am never under the illusion that I'm the best one you could ever have. Never. But I'm doing my best all the time. And if I make a mistake, I count on you to tell me to my face. If you don't like something or you don't understand what I'm doing, please come talk to me. Because that's how I'm going to improve. And I desperately want to improve. I want to be the best minister I can be. That's what I mean by right livelihood. I'm sure Joe is the best conductor, best teacher he can be all the time. I know that about him by the way he lives. Do you demonstrate your life and your right livelihood and the right speech and your compassion in everything you do without anybody having to, you don't have to tell people, hey, I'm really compassionate. Right? It's pretty basic, right? So when you get that going, the next level is called mental discipline. That's how, it's specific meditation, but actually focus. You can think about it in a Western way as your focus. What's your mind focused on? What are you laying in bed thinking about in the morning before you get out of bed or right before you go to bed? What's on your mind? Are you worried about what's happening in the future and the election and fascism, or are you worried about what you're going to do tomorrow? I'm saying we should worry about fascism, but I also say that we should make sure we're taking care of our little universe that we're in. You can affect the people around you. You can affect your family, and you can affect you. What are you telling? What stories are you telling yourself? I love this woman named Byron Katie. And she's really sweet, older woman, and but she's got a backbone of steel. And she says, what is the story that you're telling yourself? Is that story true? Are you sure? So when you start making stuff up in your head, it's like, oh, I walked out to the car and Gay didn't wave bye to me. She must be mad at me. Oh, it must be that thing I said yesterday. And she's like, she's thinking about something else. She's like getting her groceries or something. But I've told myself this whole story about what Gay was thinking. And then I'm mad and I talk myself into being mad at her. And the next time I see her, I'm like, hi, Gay. Have you done that? Everybody's done that, I think. That's what they're talking about. Focus on the things that you actually have control over. Try to stay in the present. And so these 3 things in the path will help you with that. That's right effort. What's your focus? Are you trying your best? Are you snarky today because you didn't give yourself enough compassion to take some time off? Are you too snarky? You know what I mean by snarky? Okay. Right mindfulness. What are you using your precious mind for? What are you focused on? And then right concentration. In the Buddhist sense, they're mostly talking about how you meditate. What's your method? When you're meditating, are you running movies in your head of what you're going to do after you get done with your 25 minutes? Or are you in the moment and having wonder or curiosity? One of the ways to get along with people that you have a difficulty understanding is to have curiosity and ask questions. So somebody says something and you think, that is crazy what you just said. Don't say, that is crazy what you just said. Say, oh, tell me more. Draw them out, as they say in the South, to women. I don't know, you guys at Ewing probably weren't raised this way, but we were raised to, when you talk to us, we're supposed to go, oh, tell me more. Can you tell me more about that story? You're supposed to draw the guy out. Anybody raised that way? Yeah, okay, get a witness. Yeah. It's not the best, but it is one of the ways in which women are socialized to encourage the patriarchy. So we're going to have right concentration. We're going to focus on even nothingness, just watching your mind. Have curiosity about your mind. It's like you're sitting there, you're like, my legs hurt. I can't believe I'm sitting in this position. I won't be able to walk for the next 20 minutes. And then you start thinking about, wow, I should have got that at the grocery. I wonder what's going to be on TV tonight. Anyway, that is not right concentration. It's okay. You can notice it. Just notice it, and then try to do it a little better. Well, maybe it'd be better if I didn't concentrate on what I'm doing later. I can do that later. Am I making sense, or am I being too flip for y'all? We're okay? Okay. And then when you get all that stuff going, you've got those 5 things going, 6 things going, you want to focus on wisdom, because we don't want to be idiot, we don't want to be foolish in our compassion. We want to be wise, right? You discern with the mind that the universe gave you. The early Unitarians were very focused and suspicious of people that were too emotional. They were very focused on their intelligence. They were some of the first people to do Bible research and really kind of want to know the history behind why did they say this and who these people were and where they were and all that. They were using their brains. But they were very suspicious of the people at that point in the second awakening that were getting saved. You know, as Meg says, they were born just fine the first time. So you wanna focus on the present, and Unitarians were a little much too much in their heads, where maybe our Universalist ancestors were a little bit too much in their hearts. A lot of Universalists got caught up in the early 1900s with the spiritualism movement, and, you know, like mediums and tables rising and, you know, talking to dead people. And they believed it all because they weren't necessarily mixing their brains and their hearts. And so the great thing about us being hooked together now, Unitarian Universalism, is we can be more balanced in our approach. One of the reasons that we're trying to fight white supremacy thinking, which is very academically oriented. You know, like if you want to compliment somebody and you say they're very academically minded, they're very logical and they do things in a particular way with a certain hierarchy, and they are very reliant on history, where people said, I know, listen to me. Believe me because I'm me. Don't believe me because I proved my points scientifically. Believe me because I have authority. And we are all, I can almost bet everybody in this room is suspicious of authority. True? No, your authority, I'm not listening to you. But you get my drift, okay. One of the things that's really great about scholarship that's going on now, because of the BIPOC movement and queer theory and feminist theory, where people are going back and reading the Bible over. That's what I spent all last week doing. Everybody thought I was on vacation in Austin. I was not. I was in class all day long. And what we were studying was a lot of the new scholarship from womanist, which is black women rereading things, feminist, queer theory, gay and lesbian people, anybody who's been marginalized, revisiting the canon of the Bible and reinterpreting the stories. So it was fascinating. But one of the things we can do as Unitarian Universalists is we can take something like this approach, but always remember to include our hearts. You want to be emotionally wise as well as intellectually wise, and focus on the present, and not be afraid to talk truth about the past. And that is the challenge of our times, right? Everybody's rewriting what happened a couple of years ago in the government. Everybody's got an opinion about it. How are we going to get through this period of time and get along? We have to learn compassion. We have to learn to get along with people that we don't necessarily agree with. We have to learn how to be democratic in the little D word, the little word. Everybody has rights. Everybody has say. Transparency. All these things are very important. Now, is that in what Buddha said? Yes, I believe so. But you can disagree with me, and especially if you think it through. Make up your own mind about this stuff. So, one of the things I really love about the Buddhist approach to everything is that you can be a theist, you can be a Christian and be a Buddhist, you can be an absolute agnostic and be a Buddhist. It's not necessary to believe in a divine being because you're working on yourself. And one of the great things about Unitarian Universalism and Buddhism is that you get the community too. We have community. We're all working on our individual spiritual growth, but we are doing it together and we're learning how to get along. And that is a major skill set, correct? Especially without war. Like, I don't know y'all, I spent all last week reading the Bible, a lot more than I've ever read the Bible. And almost every decision that Israel made was to go to war or commit genocide. I mean, and I'm very pro-Israel as a country. I think it should exist. I do not advocate for killing people. But if all your models are war models, you're missing something. And Buddhism is very focused on peace. They're always not good at it. Miramar being an example, I'm not saying everybody's always good at it, but they aspire to, just like we aspire to covenant, to treat each other with respect and care and help each other in our spiritual growth, right? So if you approach Buddhism with that kind of humility, understanding that we're reading translations, we don't have thousands of years of scholarship in the Western world on Buddhism, we can learn a lot. Take what works for you and leave the rest alone. That's my advice. My favorite thing is called a metta meditation. I started to read it to you as a call to worship, but it's not call to worship. This is what this teacher says about metta meditation. And then we're going to do a metta meditation if you would like to. She said, Sharon Salzberg says in her book, Loving Kindness, The Revolutionary Art of Happiness, she says, metta is the ability to embrace all parts of ourselves as well as all parts of the world. Practicing metta illuminates our inner integrity because it relieves us of the need to deny different aspects of ourselves. We can open to everything with a healing force of love. Like Maya Angelou says, when you learn better, do better. You don't have to beat yourself up for every mistake you've ever made the rest of your entire life. In fact, that's counterproductive. So in a meditation, it's a love meditation, and you start out with yourself. And so when we feel love, our mind is expansive and open enough to include the entirety of life in full awareness, both its pleasures and its pains. We feel neither betrayed by pain or overcome by it. And thus we can contact that which is undamaged within us, regardless of the situation. Metta sees truly that our integrity is inviolate, no matter what our life situation may be. When you learn better, do better. So, I'm going to teach you the metta meditation. There are many versions of it. We even have a song in the hymnal that's based on it, the Loving Kindness song. But I'm going to teach it to you so you can repeat after me if you choose to. And we start with ourselves. And in a practice, you might do this for 6 months before you ever go to the next level, all right? So, may I be free from danger. May I be free from danger. May I be mentally happy. May I be physically happy. May I be physically happy. May I be physically happy. May I have ease of well-being. Great. Now you could say that to yourself. If you need me to write it down for you later, I will. I'm happy to. Or you can just look it up. Any metta is spelled M-E-T-T-A. And there are many meditations out there for you, but that's the one that I learned and memorized. And then I say it for myself forever. I say it all the time. Every time I get really annoyed with people, I say it for them. So the second time, we're going to think really hard for somebody. Think about somebody that you really love. That, pretty much everything they do is fabulous. You got it? May you be free from danger. May you be free from danger. May you be mentally happy. May you be mentally happy. May you be physically happy. May you be physically happy. May you have ease of well-being. May you have ease of well-being. Now you can do that for everybody that we love all the time, and it would keep you out of trouble. But the next one is a challenge and a stretch. And it's really important that we don't look around at anyone else in the room. This is where you're going to say it for somebody to whom you have a resentment for. In the 12-step program, you often wish for the person that you're mad at what you want for yourself. And that isn't the spirit of this. You know what I mean? So you're really mad at them, and this person cut you off in traffic, and you start wishing for them everything you want for you, and somehow it takes away the alienation, the otherness of the person you're mad at. It makes it where you're like, God bless them, they cut me off in traffic, but they must have just got out of the hospital. You know what I mean? All right. So this time we're going to say it to someone we have a resentment. May you be free from danger. May you be mentally happy. May you be physically happy. May you have ease of well-being. Yeah. So that's a meditation, and there are many schools of Buddhism, some of which are more intellectual. If you want to read real dry papers all day long, sutras, I'm all for you. Come tell me about it, what you learned. That's not my way. This kind of stuff works for me. I like Zen very much. I like that, the concept of if you meet the Buddha on the road, you should kill them because they're getting in the way of you understanding the Buddha-ness of your own nature. So it's not very, does that make sense? Yeah, they don't mean literally go kill them. They mean kill the idea of them. Yeah. Anytime you hear Buddhists talking like death and murder and mayhem, chances are they're being metaphorical. They're not like us. Okay. And there are many schools in many countries and different, just like we have Protestants and Catholics and Eastern Orthodox and all that. In the Christian traditions or in the Buddhist traditions, we also have all these different ones. So find the one you resonate with and learn what you can. Take what works for you and leave the rest alone. And then come back to church so we can talk about it. All right? Thank you so much for listening to me.
Now let an offering be taken to sustain and strengthen this place, which is sacred to so many of us, a community of memory and of hope, for we are now the keepers of the dream. This church shares the proceeds of an offering plate donation every week to help support important nonprofit organizations with which we work. The 4 groups we voted to support with this year's donations are the Brazos Valley African American Museum, Brazos Valley Blessings, the Pride Center, and the Brazos Local Food Pantry. We vote on this every May at our congregational meeting, so please be generous as you can.
This is a song by Michael Frantian, Spearhead, and I think it speaks to Buddha's main message. Everybody wants a good life and a home. Everybody wants a good friend when they're alone. Everybody don't want nobody to know that everybody's got a soul with a great big hole in the middle of it. Life can try so. When it's dark, look on the bright side. When it rains, wait on the sunshine. Everybody's got to give them goodbye, 'cause everybody's got a heart on the inside. We can take all the hard lessons that we love and turn them into lessons. Don't complicate it, just keep it simple. Just work hard and be nice to people. Just work hard and be nice to people. Just work just trying to do a little more right than I do wrong. And I don't want nobody to know that I got a soul with a great big hole in the middle of it. Just trying to feel a little love. So when it's dark, look on the bright side. When it rains, wait on the sunshine. Everybody likes getting them good vibes. 'Cause everybody got a heart on the inside. We can take all the hard lessons that a little love turn into lessons. Don't complicate it, keep it simple. Just work hard and be nice to people. Just work hard and be nice to people. So keep your eyes to the sky and your feet on the ground. And if you got a frown, I'll help you turn it around. Don't let nobody ever tell you you can't be who you want to be or who you want to see in this love or this life or this day. When it's dark, look on the bright side. When it rains, wait on the sunshine. Everybody likes getting them good vibes. 'Cause everybody's got a heart on the inside. We can take all the hard lessons, try a little love and turn it into lessons. Don't complicate it, keep it simple. Just work hard and be nice to people. Just work hard and be nice to people. Don't complicate it, keep it simple. Just work hard and be nice to people. We're all equal. Just work hard and be nice to people.
We give thanks for these gifts we have given, for those who receive, and for each other, and for the beautiful music. Thank you, Joe.
We have a serious job to do as a community today. We must sing happy birthday to Gary Hart. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Gary. Happy birthday to you.
I can only hope that I will reach mine as well. So we have a few announcements. For a new name tag, thank you for whoever did the new name tags. If you would need one, we have forms on the welcome desk on the sheet in the foyer. We want everyone to have a reusable name tag so we can move toward a more earth-centered practice. We are having a new member class on January the 21st at the church, after church. Lunch is provided as well as childcare. RSVP to Reverend Kiya or to Miss Allison and let them know your dietary restrictions so they can feed you best. The Southwest Women's Conference is February the 9th through the 11th at Camp Allen. Registration is open, and the keynote center of that is going to be our own Reverend Kiya. So be sure to go. Put this date on your calendar, February the 23rd, for the UUCBV fundraiser, dinner, and show. It's a Friday night. More information is forthcoming. And the African American Museum Banquet is on Saturday, February the 24th, and you can get your tickets online at their website.
So, tomorrow is normally the MLK March. No march. chances are it's gonna be too cold for them to even have the inside event, but there is an inside event. And those of y'all who are looking for good opportunities to volunteer in our community and make a difference, the VFW is open and needs volunteers to house the homeless during this very cold week. And all that information is on our website, or you can ask me or Allison or a number of other people about it, and we'll help you sign up. But you basically just give them a call and tell them you'd like to volunteer. I think the shifts are like 2 to 4 hours, something like that. 4 hours. So anyway, that's the kind of thing you want to do. It'll increase your happiness as well as your good karma.
So now let's say the words to extinguish our talents. We extinguish this flame with not a light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we gather together again.
Those of y'all who are interested in helping to maintain and run the property or decide how we vote on things about rental agreements and such things that are in our future, let me know that you would like to be on that committee, and I will give your name to the board of trustees who are putting that committee together. But no matter how new you are to the church, if you're interested in this, we want you. Okay? Everybody, that makes sense? All right. Remember the way of the wind and breathe.